Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. The most popular sport in Arizona is officially drunk driving Perna. And it's nice to see that drunk driving has surpassed not going to Cardinals games as the most popular pastime in the Grand Canyon State. Today, I've got a lot of NFL news to cover. Duke Johnson landing in Houston, Antonio Brown threatening to retire, and it has nothing to do with getting cold feet as a Raider, to another exec with the Cardinals getting a DUI, to Nathan Peterman turning heads in his preseason debut. And no, it's not like this. When you have to turn your head because of a Nathan Peterman pick six. It's a positive head turner, like checking your blind spot to be a safe driver. That's good sports. And for continued coverage of football, for football stuff, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, I am happy to announce Manscaped is back sponsoring this episode, and I'll have Patreon shoutouts at the end. Hair, beard, chest, back, balls, feet. Hair, beard, chest, back, balls, feet. Hair, beard, chest, back, balls, feet. Science lab? It doesn't matter where you shave, it matters how you shave. The #1 place for total body maintenance is Manscaped.com. As a man with the ability to grow hair on any part of my body that's thicker than the jungles in the Amazon basin, I have put the Lawnmower 2.0 through the ringer. It is my favorite manscaping tool, and I recommend you try the Perfect Package 2.0 plus peak hygiene plan. It comes with the lawnmower, the plow, the crop preserver, the crop reviver, the pube mat, and a free travel storage bag, and a replacement blade for your lawnmower every 3 months for just $14.99. If you're already manscaping, definitely check out their new replenishment plans, where you choose the frequency of delivery so you never run out of your favorite product. Use my promo code GOODSPORTS or the link in the description to save 20% off your Manscaped order. All right, football news, okay? The Cleveland Browns traded disgruntled running back Duke Johnson to the Houston Texans in exchange for a 4th-round draft pick. The good news is Johnson was disgruntled for all of the right reasons. He wants to be on the field a lot. And after the Browns acquired Kareem Hunt while already having Nick Chubb and Duke Johnson on the roster, his snaps were going to decrease in Cleveland. The Texans desperately needed someone to mix into the running back rotation with Lamar Miller, and now they have that in a guy who is also great at catching passes out of the backfield. 61, 53, 74, 47. Those are his reception totals through his first 4 seasons in the league. The Texans, in my opinion, are now the favorites to win the AFC South this season. And no, not because of the Duke Johnson trade, but because DeAndre Hopkins is the only receiver on earth prepared to catch passes upside down. A rule Roger Goodell is considering implementing immediately to continue his quest of ruining football forever. But DeAndre is prepared no matter what. Arizona Cardinals COO Ron Minegar, somebody you guys have all heard of, was arrested for a DUI in Chandler. Drunk Chandler is a story as old as the 90s.
Well, I may be drunk, but I know what she said. So then I went over to Beefsteak Chuli's.
If you remember, Cardinals GM Steve Keim was also arrested and pled guilty to an extreme DUI in Chandler, Arizona. But wait, there's more. Cardinals' former wide receiver Michael Floyd was arrested and pled guilty to an extreme DUI when he literally fell asleep at an intersection. Floyd's DUI came in 2016, Keim's in 2018, and now Minegar's in 2019. My question is, who the fuck got arrested with the DUI in 2017 that the Arizona police helped cover up? My guess is long snapper Aaron Brewer. And not just because his last name suggests he's always on his 4th beer, but because the Broncos cut him out of the blue after a preseason game in Dallas when some weird shit went down that we've never received the full details on here in Colorado. Speaking of shit that doesn't make any sense, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott reportedly turned down an offer that would have paid him around $30 million a season. I don't know what the hell's going on in Dallas. $30 million per year isn't good enough for a quarterback who'd most argue isn't even a top 10 player at his position in the league. Zeke Elliott is holding out and creating viral videos instead of preparing for football.
Oh! What the heck? Pop the truck! Oh!
Whatever they are smoking or putting in the water, or smoking and then putting in the water in Dallas, I want some. I want some bad. In defense of Prescott, maybe he just doesn't think $30 million per year is enough if Jerry Jones wants to keep touching him like this. Oh my. Someone's been doing their bicep curls this offseason, haven't they, Dak? Prescott is set to make $2 million this year, so he basically turned down a raise that would have paid him 15 times more this season. Prescott would have been earning the same amount of money as Matt Ryan, which is a more than fair comparison, considering that both Prescott and Ryan are just good enough to never win their team a Super Bowl. Here's the weird thing, I actually really like Dak, so when I say turning down $30 million per year is ridiculously and moronically fucking stupid, you know, it comes from the heart. Will he get more money? Probably, unless of course Zeke Elliott does not play and Dak has to carry the offense in Dallas and the team misses the playoffs. That said, I will respect this decision if Prescott simply wants to leave Dallas, which he could do as a free agent after this season. You know who could maybe use a quarterback after this season? The New England Patriots. Prescott to New England. You heard it here first. Mark it, and when I get it right, make sure you tweet it to the world that I predicted this shit. Recently, we learned that Antonio Brown's foot injury was actually frostbite suffered when Brown was paying his respects as a new Raider and accidentally stepped barefoot on the coldest place on earth, Al Davis's grave. Someone may want to check Antonio Brown's brain for frostbite as well, because he's now threatening to retire because he doesn't want to wear the new helmets mandated by the NFL, even though they are safer. AB has actually filed a helmet grievance with the NFL. His legal team told the league that if Brown, and I quote, suffered a head injury in a helmet that he is compelled to wear, he would hold the league liable, which is an absolutely fucking stupid approach to take by Brown and his legal team. The new helmets are safer, and it's the sole reason the NFL is forcing players to wear them. I guess there is precedent here though, as Bill Belichick filed a grievance against the NFL when they asked him to stop dressing like a homeless person on the sidelines. The odd thing is that Brown suffered a pretty significant concussion in his old model helmet, which is the Schutt Air Advantage helmet that was discontinued by the company back in 2011. Basically, Antonio Brown is the guy who keeps walking into Taco Bell and ordering the waffle taco despite its discontinuation in 2015. Sure, it's horrendous for your health, but when you're as rich as AB, you can pay someone at Taco Bell to keep Eggos and Jimmy Dean sausages in the freezer and make you your stupid breakfast every time you pop in. The only difference being that a waffle taco will never give you a concussion. Heart attack? Diabetes? Sure, but never a concussion. Currently, Brown's helmet cannot get certified by the National Operating Committee for Standards in Athletic Equipment. And not because that just sounds like a completely fake committee, but because they don't test helmets made when Mike Vrabel was still a player in the league. AB's helmets are 12 years old, and according to Peter King, would unquestionably fail a safety test. Tom Brady is accepting the fact that he has to wear a new helmet. Pro Football Talk put out a very accurate tweet about Brady saying, Tom Brady would prefer not to change helmets, but unlike Antonio Brown, Brady knows it's a rule, and he says he'll live with it. In similar news, Hallmark has announced that Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth will be on the cover of all their 25th wedding anniversary cards. Tom Brady, as the poster boy for following the rules, is like me being the poster boy for the big and tall clothing section at Kohl's. When they add the men's-sized like boys section, that's when I will get my first real modeling break. And if you're wondering about the new helmets, this is a safety issue. The new helmets essentially reduce the G-forces, or the impact/energy transferred to the brain during impact, by 30%. Now, part of me thinks if a player is stupid enough to want to risk a concussion by an increased 30%, you should allow it, especially if they are the quarterback for the Patriots or play for the Raiders. And the other part of me hates to admit when the NFL is actually right about something, and they are in this situation. And that is exactly why an arbitrator has already ruled against Antonio Brown's grievance. And this, of course, led to a response by Antonio Brown, who said that he would hold true and... No, yeah, he's gonna play. Everything he said was bullshit. Should have known everything he was saying was bullshit. Why would I think anything? God damn it. Preseason football really got started Thursday and through the weekend. The biggest news, of course, was Nathan Peterman churning and burning 50 yards through the Rams' defense. Sure, Peterman didn't even start ahead of Mike Glennon, but Glennon was the one to finish with Peterman-like stats, 2 interceptions and 0 touchdowns. Peterman, in addition to that 50-yard scamper, was 9 of 12 for 66 yards and a touchdown, but more importantly, he changed me at a molecular level. The only way I will ever root for the Raiders in a Super Bowl is if Nathan Peterman is their quarterback. And I saw a glimpse of my darkest alternate future, and that was it. So thank you, Nathan Peterman, and I am anxiously awaiting for your comment on this video. Chad Kelly had a 33-yard touchdown run in his premiere for the Indianapolis Colts. My former spirit animal, Chad Kelly, actually had 2 impressive runs in the Colts-Bills game. This is sort of interesting as Andrew Luck's calf injury continues to linger, making Colts fans all just a little bit nervous. Do I believe Jacoby Brissett is locked in as the backup quarterback? Yes, but if Kelly continues to play well, he could actually make the Colts roster, which would be a bit of a surprise. Between him and Paxton Lynch defeating the Broncos, I'd say this was the best week for former Broncos third-string quarterbacks in NFL history. Show me one single Colts fan who wouldn't want this guy as their starting quarterback if Andrew Luck's injury turns out to be a real problem, and I will show you a fake Colts fan. In addition to Luck, kicker Adam Vinatieri did not play or practice this last week with what the Colts are calling a minor knee injury, making this the first time in 30 years Adam Vinatieri has been called a minor. And that is your NFL news from this weekend. I also have Big Dick Patreon shoutouts for Jerome Bott's wifey. The glove didn't fit. Alessandro Fiore with a massive $20 donation. Nathaniel Karst, also a lucrative $15 donation. And Broncos fan 2019, $20. Jesus, what have I done to deserve this kindness? Besides providing you extremely entertaining football coverage pretty much every day. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. If you want the 8-bit helmet shirts, that link is in the description. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, at Brandon Perna, if you care to follow me there. And tomorrow morning, I should have a Broncos news update video for everybody who's been waiting since I couldn't recap the game.